interpreted or misinterpreted. And how would you describe this kind of yoga?
Um, I think that it's definitely not the same as when people think of yoga in general. There are some commonalities, I would say. And I know for myself, when we first started using it, there were things that I also had to change my idea of what I thought it had to be, or what it only looked like. And even the language that we use, like deep breathing or like versus like nose breathing versus mouth breathings. I know that was like something the kids even they come in thinking like it has to be like breathing with their mouth and like really loud. So those are things that are different than what I perceived as, this is only yoga and even the kids. Um, and I also think, I don't know, when I thought of yoga, it was like, let's do all these different kinds of poses with your body. But I really like that it's like more of a, like, this is like we're connecting our thinking with our bodies and our hearts, and it's not just like a movement. Exercise. It's more like a mindfulness, like a overall. And that's definitely something that was new. And I think for the kids, this is we use the word mindfulness. So it's not just like, oh, yoga, but it's like mindfulness. Yoga is part of the mindfulness, but it also comes in with the calm heart and the thinking behind it.
Well said.
And that means we definitely need to do, you know, and just like pausing. There's so many things in life. And I think it's just a great reminder, like, yes, there's all this stuff to be done, but you need to take the time to just like pause and practice these things. And it really does help you feel more centered and ready to like take on all those other things that you thought you had to do at that moment. But
Yes, yes. And you've touched on something that is, one of the key, I think, kind of blocks for some educators is that we don't have time. And, yes, as you said so wonderfully, if you just take a little bit of time to center oneself, kind of, well, kind of create a peaceful, tone, attitude, we will be able to kind of move forward. Um,
yeah.
instead of kind of spinning our wheels. Um, so I think there's a lot of spinning of the wheels in classrooms these days.
And something I did want to add is at the beginning, when we first started practicing, we didn't use it in my classroom throughout the whole day. It would just be like when you would come and do it with our class or when it was like set aside. Um, and something that helped that maybe could help other people is putting it into your schedule, just like kind of anything. If you don't schedule it in and make time for it, it's easy to be like, "Oh, we don't have time for that?" So that's something that helped our class make sure that we made time for it so much that now I don't put it on the schedule, but the kids know like, "Oh, this is just like part of our routine and this is how we start our day and this is how we check in and recenter ourselves every time we come from like a noisy or a overstimulating environment."